One thing we do a lot around here is we try not to waste anything. You know, very little scraps come out. So the leftover chicken bits are all done here. It's just the bones and scraps left over. Some leftover scraps from some peppers that we cut before. I've got this all tossed in oil and salt and pepper. I'm going to roast these in the oven until they get all nice and kind of golden and brown. And then along with a bunch of other old scraps, bits of onion peels and, you know, hoo-ha, and bits of skin and, you know, cartilage and bits of meat that were no good for the rapi. I'll make a broth out of all this when it's all done. I'll use whatever leftover broth I have in the pot to cover everything this with, and then I'll add more water to it if I have to. And then pressure cook it for a couple of hours. And that'll give me a really nice quality, high quality chicken broth to use for a future meal down the road. So, scrap day. It's been 2 hours in the pressure cooker on high. I'm just scooping all the big chunks of stuff out first before I try to strain the broth out. And then you can see just what a beautiful, the smell is amazing. You can see the broth in here. It's just, it's beautiful, really. You know, it's got to let the fat separate still. I'll strain the fat out of it, but this is going to be a fantastic broth. And no waste. You know, all the bones, the skin, the cartilage, you know, the skins off the onions, all the bits and pieces you normally throw in the garbage. You know, suck all the food out of it first. Like, why throw it away? You paid for that. You paid for every bit of that scrap. You paid for all those bones. You paid for all that skin. Eat it. Make something out of it. Everything's too expensive nowadays. We can't waste anything. Just, you know, just do something with it. So here is that beautiful looking roasted chicken stock that I made. It looks gorgeous. It smells fantastic. I also have a bunch of just the random chicken stock I made while making the rapi pie today left over. So I'm going to blend these both together. This will give me a lot of chicken stock and a really nice, rich one to use later. So I'm going to blend them together. I've strained them already once. I'll strain them one more time. Then I'll use my fat separator to take all the extra fat off the top of them. At that point, you can go into the fridge for tonight, and then tomorrow we'll likely freeze them into big ice cube blocks. And that way, when we need some stock, we can just pull it out of the fridge and it is done. No waste, no, you know, or as little as we can afford. You know, the more you save, the more you don't have to spend. My roasted chicken broth is ready. I've done the first straining through the fat separator I have. There's still a little bit of fat on it, you can see. You can see how deep and rich the color is. Yeah, I cut my fuck off finger. So, you know, I'm perpetually giving people a finger now, which it's kind of a bonus more than a deficit, but anyway, we'll see. Anyways, I want you to see this. I want you to see just how beautiful this looks. A glass of roasted veggie chicken carcasses and scraps. It is such a beautiful chicken broth. It is so rich. It's got such depth to it. The mouthfeel is delicious. It just coats your mouth with this beautiful, warm chicken broth. And I end up with a ton of it, actually. I end up with a lot of chicken broth. Will be good for a while, but that's awesome because it was garbage otherwise. And now it's food, which is even better.